Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about World PvP, mostly World PvP going forward in Battle for Azeroth, but also a little bit how it works now, and my feelings on that. So, if you don't know, in Battle for Azeroth, you're going to have an option to either flag yourself for PvP or not. Now, what this means is your server doesn't really matter anymore, whether it's a PvP or PvE server. You're going to have a choice of either being PvP or PvE. Basically, the idea of a server kind of holding you in, especially with the group finder tool, which allows you to shard over to a different server. They call it sharding over to a different server at ease at all times, anyways. They're like, well, servers don't really matter as much anymore. It's kind of everything's cross server. So instead of server based, they want you to just flag yourself either for or not for PvP. And when you do that, basically you will be with other players that make that choice as well. So let's say you're on Crow Coon on Argus for some current stuff, a current example, and your server is not very high populated, and you flag yourself for PvP. You'll probably be there with a bunch of other servers that aren't very high populated, or maybe some people that are from high populated servers that are also marked for PvP. The same thing for if you're not flagged for PvP, you'll be kind of cross server with people that also are in PvE. Now, you're not always going to be cross server because if you have enough population to sustain its own zone, then you'll still just be with your own people anyways. So if you're on a competitive PvP server, which there aren't very many, you'll probably still be fighting against your own server mostly. But if you're not, like best examples I can think of is Tichondrius for Horde and Sargeras for Alliance. If you are one of those, you're definitely and you're marking yourself for PvP, you're going to be fighting different server people almost all the time. So, what are my thoughts on this? World PvP is something I really enjoy doing. Overall, I've always played on a PvP server because I like that option. It feels more real. When I see somebody, especially in one of the X packs where we're fighting the opposing faction, when I see, I play Alliance, so when I see a Horde, I like having the option of fighting them because it's like, hey, we're kind of at war, especially Battle for Azeroth, let's say. Other X packs, I've been like, yeah, well, we're supposed to be working together. I guess that's a little bit of role playing, for me at least, but we're supposed to be working together. Maybe I'm not going to attack them. I do like World PvP, and this is definitely going to hinder it. A lot of people say it's going to kill it. I disagree with that. It's going to make it more competitive, but there's also downsides to that, which I'll get to as well. Let's get into the good stuff first, before I get into that more nuanced downside. The good stuff is that a good example is my friend just came back to WoW. He just got like a free week from Blizzard to come back, and he has like no gear on whatsoever. He's on Tichondrius as Alliance, which is not good, and he's just going to get wrecked by Horde. He has less than 3 million health, and he's just going to get absolutely slaughtered. It would be nice if he could have an option to turn it off because he can't even be competitive in that environment, and it's not. World PvP is supposed to kind of be like real life simulation, like I was saying, like oh you can fight someone if you choose to. But imagine playing like a player unknown battleground or something like that, and you log in and your guy has less health than the other people you're fighting, just because you haven't played for a little while. That's not really how a game should really work. If you want it to have any kind of balance to it. What I will say though, so that's the positive side about changing it, is that there's balance to it. It's helping players that aren't equipped to fight in that system. Now you could say, well, we'll change servers. Well, I already went over that. The servers don't really matter anymore, anyways. But here's the nuanced thing to it. If I get jumped by like 3 Horde, let's say, and I get killed, there are times where I see a Horde then that has low health, and I just one shot them or kill them really fast, and you kind of get that little payback feeling. So I do have that myself, and so you'll kind of lose that because almost everybody that's going to be doing it is going to be geared. It's going to be a competitive thing. It's going to be like an arena. It's going to be like a battleground that people are opting into. Anybody you see when you're marked for PvP are people who want to fight you. So it's going to be a competitive arena that I'll probably only do once I'm geared, and if probably maybe if I'm with friends who also want to do it. So yeah, I overall like the change, but I do understand fully the implications of it as well. Let me know what you guys think. I think most people don't like it, but maybe if you're like my friend who's lower health, not very active, maybe you really like it. So let me know what you think, what kind of player you are, and everybody have a good one.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thumbs up and sub as always. Also comment below, share the videos. Appreciate it so much. You can also check me out at Twitter at WoW Gaming Inc. and at Twitch with the tag name Kneecap Killer. So everyone have a good one and see you again soon.